The Last Ember of Eloria. Once upon a time, in the distant land of Eloria, where mountains floated in the sky and rivers glowed with silver light, there lived a young orphan named Elara. She had grown up in the quiet village of Windmere, nestled at the foot of the Skirich Mountains. Elara was different from the other villagers. While they feared the ancient magic that still lingered in the world, she was drawn to it, fascinated by the tales of the old kingdom and the powerful guardians who once protected the realm. Every night, Elara would sit by the fire in the home of her guardian, Old Merrick, listening to his stories. He spoke of the Ember of Eloria, a source of immense magical power, said to be hidden in the ruins of Salaneth, the ancient capital destroyed in the Great War 100 years ago. It was said that whoever found the ember would have the power to restore balance or bring ruin to the world. On her 17th birthday, strange dreams began to haunt Elara. She saw visions of a great flame, a dying tree, and a voice calling her name. When she told Old Merrick, he grew silent and finally confessed the truth. Elara was the last descendant of the Fireborn, an ancient bloodline tied to the ember itself. It was her destiny to find it before darkness returned. Determined, Elara set off on a journey beyond the village, accompanied only by a mysterious hawk who seemed to understand her thoughts. Her path led her through enchanted forests, ruined cities, and across deserts of glass. Along the way, she made friends, a rogue thief named Kale, who had once been a royal guard, a wise mage named Mira, whose magic was fading, and a mechanical golem called Tharn, who had waited a century for a Fireborn to return. Together, they faced trials set by ancient guardians, a riddle of the moon, a mirror that showed their deepest fears, and a river of memories that could drown the soul. Elara struggled with doubt, afraid she would fail and doom the world to shadow. But her friends reminded her of her strength, not just in magic, but in heart. In the heart of Salaneth, beneath the ruins of the shattered palace, Elara found the ember, small, flickering, almost dead. The villain of the story, Lord Varen, a fallen guardian consumed by darkness, tried to steal it. In the final battle, Elara realized that the ember fed not on power, but on hope. As she stood against Varen, she remembered her village, her friends, and her dreams. The ember flared to life. With its light, Elara banished the darkness and healed the dying lands. Magic returned to Eloria, not wild and destructive, but gentle and guided by those who had the courage to understand it. Elara never returned to Windmere. She became the new guardian of flame, traveling the land to protect and teach, so that no one would forget the lessons of the past. The hawk remained by her side, watching the skies for new stars and new stories. And so, the last ember of Eloria burned brightly once more, lighting the way for generations to come. The Whispering Forest. Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled between misty mountains and rolling fields, there lived a curious girl named Elara. Unlike the other children, Elara didn't dream of becoming a farmer or a merchant. She dreamed of discovering the secrets of the world, especially those hidden deep within the mysterious Whispering Forest. The forest was ancient. Towering trees with silver bark and leaves that shimmered green even in the moonlight stretched endlessly in all directions. The villagers believed the forest was enchanted and dangerous. They warned their children never to enter, for those who did were never seen again. But Elara couldn't ignore the pull of the forest. Since childhood, she had heard it calling to her, not with words, but with whispers on the wind, dreams at night, and the quiet rustle of leaves that seemed to speak directly to her heart. On her 16th birthday, Alara made a decision. She would enter the forest and uncover its secrets. Armed with nothing but a satchel, a lantern, and her courage, Alara slipped into the woods at dawn. The moment she stepped beneath the canopy, the world changed. The air grew warmer, richer, humming with unseen energy. The whispers grew louder, forming soft, unintelligible voices. She wandered for hours, guided not by a map, but by instinct. Flowers glowed faintly underfoot. Creatures with gleaming eyes watched her from the shadows, but none approached. As twilight fell, Alara reached a glade bathed in golden light. In its center stood a tree taller than all others, with bark like woven silver threads and branches that touched the sky. Under the tree sat a woman with hair like starlight and eyes that shimmered with centuries of knowledge. "I have waited a long time for you, Alara," she said, her voice echoing like wind through leaves. "You know my name?" Alara asked, wide-eyed. The woman nodded. "This forest has always known you. You are the last of the verdant seers, a line of guardians who once protected the balance between nature and mankind. The gift in your blood called you here." Alara listened as the woman explained her legacy. Long ago, the seers kept harmony between the forest and the world beyond. But as their numbers dwindled, the forest sealed itself off, waiting for one worthy to reawaken its power. Now, Alara had a choice. She could return to her old life, or accept her destiny and become the new guardian of the Whispering Forest. Her heart already knew the answer. With a deep breath, Alara stepped forward and placed her hand on the ancient tree. Light surged through her, and the forest responded with a chorus of voices, welcoming, joyful, alive. From that day on, Alara lived among the trees, learning their language, guiding lost travelers, and restoring the connection between the forest and the world. The villagers still tell tales of her, a girl who followed whispers and became legend.